What is going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and this is the Google Pixel 3a. So about a week ago, I got my hands on this interesting phone, the Google Pixel 3a, Google's newest version of their Pixel lineup that differs from the Pixel 3 in that it only costs $399. Now, considering the significant reduction in price, the logical question that follows is, what did Google take out of this thing to make it so cheap? More importantly, what did they leave in? Well, I've been using the Pixel 3a for over a week now and wanted to go over those two questions with you in detail to see whether or not a $400 Pixel is too good to be true. Now, before we get into the review, if you're into checking out the latest consumer tech products before you buy them, or if you're just a tech head like me, I make a video like this every single week, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell icon so you could be the first to know when a new JSL review is out and you don't miss anything. And real quick, do you think that the Pixel 3a is now the best budget phone available today? Or do you think another phone wears that crown? Let me know in the comments. Curious to see what phones you guys have in mind. That being said, let's get into the Pixel 3a. Okay, first up, let's talk physical design. And it's an interesting place to start because when you get the phone out of the box and actually look at it, it's virtually identical looking to the flagship Pixel 3. It has similar dimensions, though it's just a tad bigger, but it has the overall Pixel 3 aesthetic with its contrasting, polished and brushed back, clean and simple branding, and that minimalist, utilitarian design. The Pixel 3a, just like the Pixel 3, has a no-frills approach when it comes to physical design, with its unashamed forehead and chin, single rear-facing camera, and old-school touch-capacitive fingerprint reader. And you know, despite the antiquated choices here, the phone doesn't come off ugly per se, and to me, if there was ever a phone you can compare to a car like a Jeep, it would be the Google Pixel. Definitely more designed for fantastic utility, not to be the prettiest car out there. So in that sense, it's great to see that the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3 are so similar, from a visual perspective. The thing that sets them apart here is the build material. Where the flagship Pixel uses high-end metal and glass to make up its body and frame, the Pixel 3a uses plastic. Yes, this phone has a complete polycarbonate body that makes the phone feel no doubt less premium in the hand compared to its more expensive older brother. That being said, I'm kind of blown away at how Google was able to execute the change in material without compromising the look of the phone. I mean, if you don't have the phones in your hands, it'd be quite difficult to differentiate the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3a. Moreover, it still feels good in the hand. The contrasting texture is still there, it's easier to grip compared to Pixels with metal frames, and they did an outstanding job blending in the body with the display, no rough edges, and seamlessly executed. All this speaks to Google's commitment to not making the phone look or feel cheap, despite the use of cheaper material, and at the end of the day, I'm surprisingly fine with a plastic phone this well put together, especially if it means I could save a significant amount of money off the price tag. Okay, so next, let's talk about the 3a's hardware, starting with its display. The Pixel 3a is rocking a slightly larger display than the Pixel 3, coming in at 5.6 inches with a resolution of 2220 by 1080, making it again near identical with its flagship brother. And overall, the display is a solid good. It's an OLED, so you get some good contrast, the colors are accurate, and watching HD video on the Pixel 3a is quite pleasing. The aforementioned unapologetic forehead and chin does make the phone look dated, but it's nice that it's notch-free, and content consumption doesn't feel as restricting as you think it would be. One difference here is that the Pixel 3a uses something called Dragon Tail glass, a material not as high quality as the Gorilla Glass found on the Pixel 3, but the difference in material doesn't impact the resolution quality, and I've been using the Pixel 3a without a screen protector this entire time, and I don't see any visual scratches or scuffs up to this point. Overall, the display in the Pixel 3a is in no way a deal breaker when comparing it to the regular Pixel 3. I mean, let's face it, they're essentially the same, and neither of them are going to win Best Display on a Smartphone Award anytime soon, but it's nice to see that Google didn't completely cheap out on its budget offering. As far as I/O, the Pixel 3a has a USB Type-C port for charging, which supports fast charging and comes with fast charging accessories, which is great at this price point. However, the Pixel 3a does not support wireless charging, which can be minor for some of you, but if you're into wireless charging, it's kind of hard to go back to a wired connection. As far as battery life is concerned, the Pixel 3a comes with a slightly larger 3000 mAh battery that honestly performs pretty well. I've had no issues getting through the day, and overall the phone is really well optimized to give you as much screen on time as possible. Now, the silver lining here in terms of I/O is that the Google Pixel 3a brings back the headphone jack, and something that the flagship Pixels don't have. You still get stereo speakers on the 3a, but Google has moved the bottom speaker from the chin of the phone to the rear of the phone, making for a more asymmetrical stereo listening experience. You also still get the squeeze feature to launch the Google Assistant, which is nice to see. I honestly thought this would be a feature that Google would cut out, but happy to see they were able to leave it in. And of course, you get the trusty, reliable, ultra-fast touch capacitive fingerprint reader on the back of the phone, which is honestly one of my favorite fingerprint readers on a phone today. Probably the most under-the-radar feature of the Pixel 3a is that it has the same haptic motor as the Pixel 3, which is by far the best implementation and best haptic feedback on any Android phone to date. Now I know it sounds like a minor thing, but it has a significant impact on user experience, something that Apple knows and has mastered on the iPhones, and it's great to see on this very well-priced device. So arguably the biggest difference between the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3a are their processors. While the Pixel 3 uses the premium Snapdragon 845, the Pixel 3a uses the Snapdragon 670 chipset, a mid-tier processor that's not going to perform as well as the former. Now the key thing to know here is that the 670 isn't a bad processor. In fact, it's pretty good. In day-to-day use, you really won't notice a huge difference in performance. Apps load fast enough where most people won't care if it takes a little longer than the Pixel 3, and I haven't had any issues of serious lag that would impede my user experience that I've grown accustomed to. Even playing spec-intensive games is relatively smooth, and overall, it's quite a joy using stock Android even on a non-premier chipset. Now the main concern for me is more focused on longevity. Though the Pixel 3a might be fine with its limited processor power now, it may run into more pronounced lag times and slowdowns as the phone ages and goes through future updates. Time will tell, but if you're looking for a Pixel that you can use comfortably for a few years, it may be more prudent to go with the regular Pixel. Okay, so probably the biggest draw to considering the $399 Pixel 3a, despite the differences just covered, is that it comes with the same industry-leading camera technology as the Pixel 3. So the Pixel 3a has the same single 12 megapixel rear camera as the flagship Pixel 3, and yes, you really do get a near identical camera user experience. The images are razor sharp, the contrast and dynamic range is phenomenal, the colors are punchy and well saturated, and the portrait mode photos are probably best in class in terms of execution and edge detection. You also have access to all the camera software features, such as night mode, which seriously is like voodoo magic. I mean, take a look at the difference between the shot I took with the iPhone XS Max on the left, and the shot I took on the Google Pixel 3a with night mode on the right. It's pretty incredible how much better the Pixel performs, and great that Google decided to leave this feature in their budget offering. Now the front-facing camera is a bit of a deviation from the flagship Pixels, because it doesn't have an ultra-wide selfie lens, but the single front-facing camera on the 3a is still a beast. Some of the sharpest selfies I've ever taken have come out of this phone, and again, the portrait mode on the front-facing camera is on point, which is honestly kind of amazing considering there's no depth sensors and relies completely on Google's software wizardry. Overall, the fact that a $400 phone is pumping out images at this level of quality is kind of mind-boggling. And no lie, it's without a doubt the biggest draw to this phone, especially if you're serious about mobile photography but you're on a budget. The Pixel 3a is kind of perfect for you. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm left really impressed. You know, I think about what I would say if someone asked me what I was looking for in a solid day-to-day Android phone, and I think I'd respond by saying, hey, give me a clean UI, give me a good display, and give me an excellent camera. And honestly, the Pixel 3a gives me all three, and it's by far one of the cheapest devices I've ever owned. What I appreciate most from Google is their approach to building a budget phone. They stuck to their guns in terms of what they felt was key for a great user experience, and didn't compromise on any of those features, but with the features they felt as though drove up costs that people could live without, they unapologetically removed, even if it went against the grain of what other smartphone companies do when approaching budget devices. And I give them kudos for being bold. This is honestly one of my favorite Android devices I've used, and the amount of value you're getting here with this $399 price tag has potential to seriously disrupt the market, and I hope to see more like it from Google, Samsung, Apple, and other big smartphone players as well. But hey, those are my thoughts, and I'm curious to get your opinion. Do you guys think that the Google Pixel 3a is worth it? And I guess the big question here is, would you buy this phone? And if not, what's holding you back? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, that's about it for this review. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you guys find it useful. It really helps me out. If you guys have any questions about the Pixel 3a, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.